Rap and Reason podcast with Dr. Jeremy C. McCool and Earl Hopkins. You are tuning into another episode of Rap and Reason podcast. This is episode 80, and I am one of your hosts, Dr. Jeremy C. McCool.
And I'm Earl Hopkins. What's going down, man?
What's good, bro? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. Just gearing up for this European trip, man. I'm going on a little voyage, y'all. I'm going to Amsterdam, Brussels, and Cologne, Germany, man. I'm gonna try to sneak in Paris, but I don't feel like Paris is a city you can sneak in, man. I feel like you got to dedicate an entire trip to Paris. But if I can make it, I'm gonna go, bro. Like Paris is just one of those cities.
Yeah. So what places are y'all going in Europe?
So Amsterdam, Netherlands, Belgium. Or Brussels, Belgium, and then Cologne, Germany, man. They all within this like a central area, you know what I mean? Like 2.5 hours away from one another. It's my first time in Europe, man. So I want to take advantage of this opportunity. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm hitting all the spots I'm able to within our budget. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, man. Enjoy that, man. I've been to Europe a few times leading study abroad trips for students, man. And it's always a different experience, bro. Like seeing the historic stuff, but also, the food, the culture, and in some of those cases, how many of us are over there. You know what I mean? It also can be alarming. A lot of those European countries have a lot of African migrants over there as well. And then some, not as much, some of the ones I've been to, like Spain, but like you mentioned, Germany has a lot of people who've come from America, Black Americans who are there as well. Yeah, dope, bro. That should be a nice trip, man. Belgium.
I'm excited, waffles. Man. Are you getting waffles? Yeah, got to get the waffles, bro. And, this is an opportunity. I'm a, ultra planner. So I'm, making Google Docs, restaurants.
Oh, you all in?
Oh, I'm all in, bro. Like street vendors, clothing places, other excursions that we can do outside of the museums. So yeah, I'm excited, bro.
Nice, bro. Enjoy that, man. I was gonna I said off mic before, I was like, man, eventually Europe might be the only place we're able to travel to. So
the way things are going, man.
Things are going, man. I already know a lot of study abroad trips have already been canceled, for the Middle East, and it's crazy work, man. Crazy times.
I actually had to check in on my boy Josiah, man. He was actually in Dubai the day that Iran actually bombed one of the airports or attacked one of the airports, man. So I had to reach out to him. Thankfully, he's good. He made it out.
It's crazy.
Good. Yeah, man. Like it's scary times, bro. It's scary times.
Yeah, scary times, man. So be safe on that trip, but dope, man. Enjoy it. That's crazy. I've been good though, man. I really just been chilling. We went to see that MJ musical.
Yeah, how was that, bro?
On Broadway yesterday, man. It was dope, man. I enjoyed it. Like you can't really go wrong with Michael Jackson music. The lead singer / actor who played Michael Jackson did a phenomenal job. Like dance moves, mannerisms, everything was just perfect. And I like the way the music was sequenced, the choreography, everything was on point. The story, I always feel like with Michael Jackson stuff, I want to hear a little something different. Like I always get the same 5 pieces of information when I leave there. It's always centered on Joe Jackson and just him as a performer. But not necessarily like some of Michael Jackson's business moves he's made and his, how he acquired the Beatles catalog and his children and his family life. Like I really never really hear about any of those elements of Michael Jackson. So I think that, that would have been nice to see. But I thought overall it was dope. I definitely would recommend going to see it for sure.
Definitely, man. I've seen it myself, except when it was here, not on Broadway, but in Philadelphia, man. And I highly recommend it as well, bro. I think as far as like the performances, it's so incredible. But hopefully with this Michael movie coming out next month, man, they get into the depth that you're talking about, because I feel like that is missing from Michael Jackson's story. For sure.
Yeah, I think people want to know a little bit more about some of the movies he's made. You know what I mean? Michael Jackson was a legendary figure outside of just music, just the way he decided to handle his career and his image and likeness, I thought was just brilliant. Same feelings I have for Prince, you know what I mean? As far as like they're bigger than just their music. So I definitely hope to hear more about his story in that Michael movie for sure. I will be there with a glittery glove on, you know what I mean? So if you see me, just know I'm outside with it.
You feel me? Yeah, moonwalking to get some popcorn and back into my theater seat. You did.
Yeah, man. It's a show. I'm not even a dress up for movies guy, but I'm gonna find a glove.
I'm gonna find a leather jacket somewhere.
Man,
somewhere.
the leather jacket. If I could find a red leather jacket, it's
Yeah,
up,
man.
bro. I'm gonna have to
Oh,
get some costume one. That jacket probably expensive. Boy,
facts.
I'm about to go to Party City and get mine.
Straight pleather.
But
Straight.
straight up, yeah, rubber.
Mm.
That jacket made of rubber. All right, we got a few hip hop topics to get to, man. 50 and Ti, the saga continues. We'll talk a little bit about that. LaRussel has a new album out called "Something's in the Water." This is one that he's been pushing heavily for the
Heavy.
last several months, I would say. So we'll talk a little bit about that project that's produced by Lil Jon. Juvenile, BBB. This was one of mine on my Nice Nonsense list recently, and he has a remix with Meg Thee Stallion. So we'll talk about that as well. Cyhi The Prynce is now dissing J. Cole. We'll talk
Mm.
about that too. And then we'll talk about some comments that were recently made by Dr. Michael Eric Dyson regarding the Kendrick Lamar Drake fiasco. All right. So that's what we got a lot of different ground to cover today.
Yes.
So let's start off with 50 and T.I., man. We thought it was over. It is not.
It is not. It got pettier a little bit. You know what I'm
What?
saying?
Oh, a lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. What were your thoughts on it, man? After 50 Cent's response or just the whole thing entirely?
So, okay. So where we left off at last week, it was actually before Damani put out his diss record.
Which was fire, by the way.
Amazing. So for
Yeah.
those who do not know, Damani put out a diss record about 50 Cent where he actually sampled Sorry Miss Jackson. It was called Miss Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Scathing. You know what I mean? This was his very Meet the Grams-ish, dissecting him on a psychological level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dope diss record. Damani is nice.
He's really nice, bro.
Yo, he might be the next guy. He's on that next step list. I feel like he's really been able to prove himself more throughout this. I've been to he could rap. I've been seeing a lot of his freestyles and some of his music. I've been following his stuff, I would say, for at least the last 2 to 3 years. He's nice, but I think now people are able to see him in a different light. I know he's built a nice audience. He does a lot of like girl-centered records too, so I think that's also a big element of his kind of branding. But for hip hop fans to know that he can do this,
different for sure, man. And I watched a clip of the Breakfast Club interview that he had, and he was talking about the Miss Jackson diss. And bro is like the most laid back, like mild mannered, person. And he actually took it upon himself to release it. At first, he wasn't going to do it. He didn't even consult with T.I., his pops, whether or not he should do it. You know what I mean? He
Yeah,
just put it out. And I think that was like a telltale sign that he's, number one, maturing as his own artist, right? And
yeah,
he's doing things on his own terms, and it's coming out dope. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to hear more from him
yeah,
outside of this. But like it was nice for what it was. Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, one of my favorite records out of the whole disc back and forth thus far.
Oh, for sure. It's up there.
Hands down, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So we got that right,
Mm-hmm.
and then we of course got King put out a diss record as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was only right. So after that, the smoke had cleared for a minute,
Yeah,
and
it
even so
did.
much so that I saw Ti doing interviews where he was talking about it as if it was over.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
50 has decided otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
and has now not only put out a record with Leon Thomas that's actually like
Really
a
good.
good. It sounds amazing. Leon Thomas sounds amazing on the song.
He does.
Um,
Yeah.
but he's decided to slip in a diss of Ti in this song with Leon Thomas. I'm not going to repeat what he said
No.
because it's wild. But he's decided to throw in some more stuff aimed at Ti's wife
Mm-hmm.
on the record, and the record is actually going to be the theme song for one of the upcoming Power seasons. I don't follow the Power stuff.
Yeah.
I ended up too far behind. I don't have time to catch up with 15
It's
seasons
cooked for
of
me.
stuff. It's
You know?
done. But what are your thoughts about him dissing? First of all, the song as a whole, but also the idea of dissing somebody on a theme song.
Yo, listen. So the song is actually fire. For
Yes.
me, my favorite part is Leon Thomas.
Leon Thomas went crazy.
He bodied that record. I will say though, like when I heard 50, I was like, yo, I miss like that tone. Like he just got a certain tone and
Mhm.
voice and just like swag on the song that I miss from like childhood when I would hear him from records off of Get Rich or Die Trying and Curtis and like the Massacre and all that stuff. So like obviously 50 can rap, you know what I mean? I think bro deserves the pettiest Dude award. Like that's what he needs. Like for this, because you already know how his shows operate, especially with Power. I think this is the theme song to Power Origins, which is
Yeah.
what the 10th spinoff from that whole series, bro. Like so, this is going to be playing and looping 100
Yo,
episodes worth. You know what I'm saying? So
crazy.
it's kind of genius. I'm not gonna lie. Now I
It
will
is.
say it was one line, bro. Like
That's my thing. It's one line, and
right?
it's one very disrespectful line, but it's one line nonetheless. And I
Yeah.
think that like it doesn't get him the W.
No, not at all. No.
But I think it's smart because I think he knows he can't get the W. So I think that
Mm-hmm.
in his mind is I'm gonna just do something that's gonna last.
Exactly. And
I
stick
think
to people's minds, like for real.
yes.
Yeah,
I think it's a good strategy.
it is. It's smart. And one thing about 50 is he is strategic. Now, like the record, like I said, I like the record. I think the one line is like, oh, okay, like cool. We would
It's
want
not
to hear.
enough.
I would want to hear a whole record, like
Yeah,
from you personally.
I need a diss record, bro.
Yeah.
That one line ain't going. Nah, not with what they done did to you. That's not
No,
it.
no,
No.
for real. For
And
real.
then right after 50 Cent decided to release this record,
Mm-hmm.
the money got back in.
Yeah, he did.
He got back in the booth and released a song that I cannot. We don't curse on this show for y'all who don't know. We choose not to. We both
Mm-hmm.
could, but we choose not to on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the record is called Pusy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's how he spelled it on it too. PU dollar sign Y. Even.
Okay, he got stylistic with it. Right.
And this is a very different approach from Damani's first diss record.
A detour, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah. This one is a lot more direct, a lot more disrespectful. Not even more direct, just more disrespectful.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot more it's pure violation. You know what I mean? What did you think about that record?
Oh no, like ultimate disrespect, bro. But hey, that's what it calls for. When you talk
That's
about my
what I
family,
need.
you know.
You talking about moms.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, there's I like that his kids are outside like this.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
This is
I
the first
get
hip
it.
hop family we've really seen. Like, really ever. The
Yeah.
closest we got to a hip hop family like this is like you had Master P and Lil Romeo, but that was it. Lil Romeo that didn't his career in hip hop didn't last that long.
Yeah.
You had most people don't know. You have Coach Contra. Two of those members are related to my man. Why is his name slipping me right now? What is his name? Their father is a prominent hip hop artist. I don't know why his name is leaving me.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, but there's been a few, but
Hmm.
none like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing like this, bro. We're all like we talking father sons like standing 10 toes down against one singular. Like I
Razcast, by the way, Razcast is
ah
Razcast, legendary hip hop artist
legend.
out of the West Coast, legend.
Yeah.
Two of his kids are actually in the group Coach Contra, who have really rose to prominence recently. But
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
continue. What you said?
No, I was saying like I've never seen anything like the father son standing ten
Fathers,
toes.
no.
I've never seen nothing like that, man. And I love it, bro. We need more sons and father dynamics like this, bro.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean?
It's
Yeah.
beautiful to see. It's beautiful
Mm-hmm.
to see.
Hmm.
So yes, he came out with a diss track. I actually like this one. I don't like it as much as his first one, but I still think it was very effective.
Oh, for sure. It got my attention immediately. First of all, because it came out immediately. But secondly,
Yo,
the energy on this one, bro. I love this energy. You know what I mean?
same here. And then after that, King released another track too,
Mm.
and his is the disrespect that you would expect.
I will say
Very
King has
disrespectful
been consistent. This man has been disrespectful the entire
the entire time.
time.
He's holding it down.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think this is dope, man. I'm not used to. Yeah, I think that this dynamic of where the father can really rap. Because Ti, I think that this is a great reminder for the youth who don't know
Yes.
that Ti is really one of those ones.
He like that, bro. He
Like
like
Ti
that.
is not. We're not talking about Ti is in my mind. Ti is top 15, probably top 20 for
I can't
sure.
argue with that at all.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Ever in hip hop. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, so I'm not Ti is no slouch, no, but I think that a lot of younger generation doesn't know Ti from rap.
exactly. They know him for reality TV and like the podcast,
Fi-
Expeditiously and everything else.
Film from
Right. Comedy now.
ATL,
Like,
Rollbound. Yeah, they know him from stuff like that, but No, T.I. is one of those ones. So I'm glad he got to remind people. I'm looking forward to T.I.'s album too.
That's what I'm looking forward to. What is it called? The King is Dead or
Kill the King.
Kill the King. So I'm looking forward to that. And also, bro, I don't know about you, but I've been outside and I've been hearing nothing but Let 'Em Know by T.I.
Let
every
them know
single
it's
single.
everywhere.
It's everywhere. And that thing hits, bro. Like that single
It's
so
a
hard.
hard record, man. Shout out to Pharrell for the production on that. That
Yes,
one is stupid. It sounds like old Ti record. It sounds
it
like it could have
does.
been on King.
Yo, no, for real. It does, man. So I love that he's not only back doing this beef, like just for the sake of it, like he's doing this as he's taking advantage of the moment. It's a rollout for this project, which I anticipate is going to be like one of those ones, like one of the bigger albums of the year, man. And I've been hearing people talk about like the renaissance of certain hip hop artists that have ventured off in other areas, right? They talk
Right.
about like Clips rejoining and what that meant and how
Yep.
they produced a classic album years after they kind of like departed from one another as far as music was concerned. And
Yep.
I think T.I. is due for another classic with this upcoming album. So I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here, man. Same. I'm looking forward to T.I.'s new album. Do you think that this continues with 50 and T.I.?
I think with 50 actually saying that he's going to make a surviving T.I. and Tiny docu-series or documentary and stuff like that. Hopefully not, because I think that's lame, like to be
I
honest.
was gonna
Yeah.
say, what do you think about dissing people through documentaries?
I think it's lame, bro. Like I like I think that's lame, dog. And
I agree. I agree.
I think
I
I
agree.
get 50's stance where it's like, yo, I if I'm gonna be involved in this, I'm gonna make money off of it, or I'm gonna turn it into like a moment, like something that I'm already vested in, which is
Yeah.
documentaries and film, TV, this, that, and the third. But I think going about it this way is pretty lame, to be honest. Like, nah,
I agree. I think it's corny.
yeah,
I think it's weird. Well, strange.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
weird, I think it's strange to, on one hand, try to call your opponent a snitch,
Mm, mm.
and then on the same breath, threaten to put out a a documentary that is accusing them of criminal activity.
Exactly. How does that make sense? It's hypocritical, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
Pretty hypocritical.
if you're putting out a documentary that's accusing them of crime, what is that? I mean, I don't know.
You
You
know
know
what I
what I mean?
mean? That doesn't make
I'm just a
sense to
professor, but
me
I'm just
either.
wondering. I just don't get the. It's weird. It's weird. It's strange.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, bro. And again, it's just lame. Like, why even make? All you have to do is put out music, dog. Like, just imagine doing that, though.
Just rap,
Just
bro.
rap.
And my thing is, you can't. And if you don't want to rap, you probably shouldn't post pictures of people's family.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't do the disrespectful stuff and then hide your hand. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
that's I'm not
Yeah.
with that. No, no, no,
Yeah.
no.
No. I'm 100% agreeing. I don't think the Harris family has been wrong in any of this yet. To be
Not at
honest,
all.
I think they're
No.
reacting the appropriate way.
I commend them for the way that they, like I said, standing 10 toes down, father to
I,
son and back and forth, bro.
I saw somebody comment on one of the videos. How do I sign up to be a member of the Harris family? I was cracking up.
What
Y'all holding it down, man, over there.
for sure, man. I love that energy, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Dope. So we'll keep you all posted if more music comes out of this. Which
Yeah.
I'm certain it will. I'm sure Ti will respond again.
Yeah.
Probably after his album roll out. But
Mm-hmm. I could see it.
yeah, I can
Definitely.
see it. On another note, man, LaRussel has recently released an album that is produced by Lil Jon. And not for those who do not know, Lil Jon is a very while he's an Atlanta-based artist, he has and producer, he's played a significant role in what is now known as the Bay Area sound. And I think a lot of
Yes.
people aren't really aware that he's produced a lot of the biggest Bay Area records that are known globally. Now, of course, you have, I mean, Mac Dre and like the
Mm-hmm.
historic figures in the Bay who did it before. But when you think of some of the biggest records that we know from the Bay Area, a lot of them are produced by Lil Jon. When you look at Tell Me When to Go,
Yeah.
when you look at Blow the Whistle,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? When you look at some of these giant massive records, some of E40's
Huge.
joints, um, yeah, a lot of those were produced by Lil Jon. So it was interesting for LaRussell to tap a Lil Jon for this project. LaRussel has also been really pushing this project. As Pay As You Want, we've seen Kyrie Irving and a lot of these big figures pay for this album $10,000, $5,000,
yeah,
to just support LaRussel's movement of independent, even though now has a partnership with Roc Nation. But man, what were your thoughts on this project?
Man, I don't love it. I'm gonna be honest.
That's why I set it up so nicely, because I figured that was gonna be your sentiment.
Yeah, man. With the opening, man, because I know there's a skit to open the project. But like I'm from the Bay, like, I'll say this. A lot of this, like, I think the production is cool. I don't think it's Lil Jon's best, but like the production for the most part is okay for me. Obviously he's locked in on a particular sound, a sound that has worked for LaRussel throughout his career. But I feel like a lot of these records just are elementary, like, to me. Like, I'm from the Bay. I was like, yo, is this what's that song that Nas put out and he had the kids like singing the song?
I know I can be what
I know I
wanna
can.
be.
That's what I got from I'm from the Bay. I don't know why I got that energy, bro, but I just did not like it. It was like a nursery rhyme or something. I wasn't feeling it. I don't like a lot of these records, bro. Like, to be honest, yo. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just like I've heard Lil Russell sound more mature. I've also
Yeah.
heard him on better production. So like, and Lil Jon is a legend. I don't want that to like get lost in this, but I just feel like as far as like a body of work, it's just not my favorite. It's also very short. And so with
Yeah.
it being that short, you gotta like draw me into each of these. And I don't feel like I was really drawn in. Now I will say, and we'll hit on some of the records too. How far can you go? Thug Cry. Like a lot of these are like thematic things that stuck with me. You know what I mean? I love when LaRussel was in this pocket, but nah, I wasn't really feeling this one.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I would say this for me, I'm opposite on the spectrum of the production. I really like the production.
Hmm.
I think Lil Jon was in his bag. I do agree with the elementary element of it. This is not one of my favorite LaRussel projects at all. Russell has some projects that I really, really like. This
Hmm.
one is his rapping isn't the best on this one. I mean, it's almost dumbed down sound
Hmm.
on some of these records. I would agree. I'm from the Bay is one of the ones I like. I think it works on that one, but I think he does that on other records where it doesn't work as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm from the Bay. It sounds very much like a theme song
Hmm.
for the Bay Area. So for me on that one, it works. I also like Wiggling. I think that beat on Wiggling is stupid,
Oh, it's
but
stupid.
yeah, that beat is
Hmm.
crazy. But other than that, nah, I agree. More for me, I didn't care for Wake It Ish Up. Wasn't feeling.
Mm-mm.
That was one of my least favorite ones on there. That's one sounded, like I said, very ABC 1 2 3 as far as how his rap. And maybe it's just because I know LaRussell's music and
I
his
think that's what it
abilities as a
is.
rapper. So for me
Yeah.
to hear him rap this dumbed down, I definitely thought that it was yeah, wasn't really a fan. I agree. I really like Thug Cry.
Hmm.
Um, even How Far Can You Go? I wasn't really crazy about.
Hmm.
I thought that I didn't care for the chorus.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I would say it's I like Get Off Me too.
Get
So
off
them
me
are like
hard.
Get Off Me is one of the harder ones on here too. I would say Get Off Me is probably my favorite song on here. Wiggling and I'm from the Bay, I think are hard. I think they work for the sounds. Some of the other ones around it just didn't really. I get what he was trying to do, but I
Yeah.
just think that for some reason his rapping just sounded, yeah, it sounded like it was an elementary version of what I'm used to hearing from LaRussell. It wasn't as complex. The flows weren't as unique. The bars weren't as advanced as I'm used to hearing LaRussell rap. And I'm guessing he did that intentionally, maybe to
Yeah.
make it more appealing from the masses. But yeah, I definitely not my favorite project by him at all.
Yeah. And I just I just wish this was better. Like,
I
because of the
agree.
hype around it, you know what I mean?
I hate that a lot of people's introduction to LaRussell is going to be this because
Yeah.
now to be fair, LaRussell puts out, and I wasn't even mad at the length, even though it was a very very short project. But LaRussell puts out like 6 projects a year,
Like, literally.
so
His clip is
so
never empty. You know what I mean?
yeah. So to me, for somebody who it doesn't bother me with him just because of how much material he puts out, but I wish he had put more into this project just because of his Roc Nation deal. This is the most eyes that have ever been on LaRussell.
100%.
So to me, I would have liked to see this be a yeah, just a better a better project overall.
Exactly.
Like Sobriety, he released last year is one of my favorite LaRussel projects. I thought it was
Solid.
an amazing project. He's had a lot of projects in the past that I've really thought were dope. But this one is just, yeah, this one is not on the top of the list for me.
Nah, man. And I wish this was more in the lane of like a Rent Paid or a Party on the West
Rampage,
Side, man. Like,
yeah.
yeah, but that's the thing, like you said, that when it comes to Lil Russell, in 2 months he'll have another heater. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
like,
that's why I can't even really trip. Like I already
yeah,
know, like you said, Rampage. Last year I feel like he put out probably 5 projects. So we know he probably gonna spend back in 2 months and put out
exactly.
another one. He
Yeah.
puts out Larry June is kind of like that too, where they put out music so frequently that if they drop the ball on one, it's okay because they're gonna bounce back with another one.
Exactly. Currency does the same thing. Like
Currency
Currency
too.
preceded them like with the same method, man. So yeah, yeah, he's gonna come back strong. I already know it. I just wish
Yeah,
this one was
I wish this
like
one
a
was
rent
better
pay.
just because of the amount of visibility on him right now.
Yeah, yeah, you
And
do.
there's a lot of haters who've been wait who are waiting to say something negative, and I hate that this project isn't better.
Yeah, right. It could validate some of the things that they already think in their mind about a Lil Russell, about his independent like ventures and just like the mode he's on right now. But like still, this ain't indicative of like who he is as an artist. We know
Oh,
that because
not
he
at
has
all.
so much material, so much dope material. But he gonna come back stronger, bro. This one just wasn't the one for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. But shout out, LaRussell. We look forward to your next project. We've big supporters. We talk about LaRussell on this show a lot. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but this one wasn't the one. All right, man. It was a wild transition. Juvenile.
Juvie, man.
What
Yeah.
year is it when we talking about Lil Jon and Juvenile? All
Yo,
right.
crazy, crazy the way that hip hop
We
is
we
going.
we just transitioned back to 2008. So Juvie had a joint called BBB. It's very look, let me tell you, if you're looking for substance, this ain't it, all
This
right? But
is not it.
if you're looking for a ratchet song for a
Yeah,
party, this is the one.
this
Okay.
is it. This is
This
it.
is it. And I talked about this before. And funny enough, my girlfriend called this, man. I will say, when we first heard this song, she put me on this song. And she was like, man, Meg need to be on this song. Juvenile heard her. And Taps made the Stallion for the remix, man. What did you think about Meg's performance on this joint?
Man, she bodied this jump. She had one line that was crazy. I'm trying to remember it, yo. What did she say? She said something wild though.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I gotta
she
pull up these lyrics, yo.
she popped it though, man. She went crazy on this. And I feel like there are very few artists that would have like complimented. Well, I can't even say that, but I think she would have complimented best. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Lotto could have been on here.
I,
Maybe,
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking
you know.
Lotto was the only other person I could have really heard do this.
But Megan, man, on this record, bruh, she just knows how to like go crazy on features, period. But especially records like this, she knows how to elevate them. So, nah, I love this, bro, and I love seeing Juvie just out, bruh. Like I love seeing his
Bro,
resurgence. I've been seeing him more the last few years, actually. You know what I mean? And I'm glad he's getting his props as just due, man, because he was such a visionary when it came to just like Southern rap, period. Just rap. You know what I mean? So I'm
I
glad he's
agree.
getting his flowers for
I
sure.
think the same thing, man. A lot of people don't really realize how impactful Juvenile was on Southern hip hop, but also just how unique he was as an artist.
Yeah.
Nobody really sounds like Juvenile. And I remember, see, most of these young kids, they don't know Slow Motion. Slow Motion was my
Woo!
That's one of the hardest records that came out that year. That Slow Motion was stupid. Like Slow Motion, everybody know back that thing up. You know what I
Right.
mean? I feel like that's probably his. That's one of the most legendary songs, though. When you think about it,
Legendary.
the 99 and 2000, when people hear, it's not too many songs, but you can hear the first couple seconds of the song and people are excited immediately.
Facts. Facts. Yeah.
Cross generations. Your
Mm-hmm.
auntie gonna come up there trying to shake some, and the 21-year-old is gonna do the same. Like it's the same impact.
Yes, bro. And that came out
I
what?
would
Like,
say from 40, I would say from the age of 48, maybe 50.
yeah,
Probably from the age of 50 to 21, they gonna react the exact same way.
100%, bro. Like 100. And like you said, bro, it takes someone like Juvenile to really pull that out, bro. Not too many people have generational hits, bro. You know what I
No,
mean? Yeah.
no. Yeah, Juvenile, you know what I mean? Juvenile is one of those artists I think who he really held it down for Cash Money.
He really did, bro. We thought he was gonna be because I didn't like obviously I was young, like when Cash Money was really like
Yeah,
getting that steam behind him. But like I from what I understand, Juvenile was looked at as the person that was going
what Wayne became.
exactly. Exactly.
1,000%. When Cash Money was on the rise, that the Juvie was the one.
He was
Especially when he put out that hand and had Jay-Z on it.
bruh.
And like on the remix, like I felt like he was the one who was expected to be the guy from
Yeah.
Cash Money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
like
makes sense.
Wayne came out of nowhere.
That's what I'm saying. Like I even like listen to old what's his name? Turk,
Yeah,
BG. Like I wouldn't have thought Wayne would elevate the way that he did, but you know, like Juvie in his own right, man, was a star. Was a star, bro. You know what I mean?
yeah. Juvenile High is a legendary record, and
Yeah.
I think that Juvie was able to create a lot of meaningful hits. He got a lot of hits that I didn't even know until I saw that verses between Cash Money and No Limit. There was some songs I was like, dang, I forgot about this record. Like
Mm-hmm.
Juvie had a lot of hits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of hits that have survived.
That's what I'm saying that have lasted the test of time, bro. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like Juvenile, one of my favorites from that era, bro. Like, easy, it's easy, man.
Because I'm looking now, we haven't even gotten to Project B, crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rodeo, crazy.
Rodeo, fire, underrated hit, by the way.
Rodeo was one of the ones.
Yeah, it
That's in the
was.
same vein as Slow Motion for me. Like I feel like those are crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Set It Off, like it was just a lot. Like he had a lot of records, yo. So yeah, man. Shout out Juvie. I like to see Juvie outside. It's interesting to hear him still on these be able to make ratchet anthems.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
months later. I
Hmm.
don't know how long he's gonna be able to hold on to that. I'd like to hear Juvie get into more substantial, like a little more. I don't want to hear a lot of substance from Juvenile.
Nah, I don't either.
This is still Juvenile, but a little bit more than this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Just a little bit.
And
A
I
little
will
bit.
say this, bro, and I'm embarrassed to admit this, but like I haven't dug into his albums. I wonder, does he get
Me
deeper
neither.
on like some of his albums? I don't know.
No, me neither. I can't say that I've really dug into his actual albums
Yeah.
like in depth. I haven't that either. I know Juvenile singles.
Yeah, exactly. And shoot, that grabs my attention alone. So yeah, I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind him getting deeper, especially talking about his journey through music and life. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Yeah.
And I just think he's talented enough to do it because Juvenile actually can rap.
He can actually rap. People forget that because they only be immersed into the ratchetness. You know what I mean? But he can actually
Yeah,
bar it up for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Juvenile is one of the ones, and I think a lot of the Southern rappers don't get credit for being able to rap,
Hmm.
and I think a lot of it is because of the. I think a lot of people discredit them, the accent and the
Yeah.
diction. I think a lot of people try to discredit some of those artists, like even
Hmm.
Boosie.
For sure.
Boosie can rap,
He
but I
can
think,
rap.
but I think it's because he got that his accent is stronger.
Yeah.
A lot of people try to discredit his talent on that front. So
And his
yeah.
antics. His antics a little bit. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
well,
He has not done
yes.
himself
The
any
the Vlad
favors.
interviews are a little extra.
Woo! But people forget he can rap. People forget. I won't like defend him outside of music, but Kodak, strong accent, Southern South Florida, like like swag or whatever.
Yeah,
But he can rap too.
yeah,
People
yeah,
forget.
yeah.
Mhm.
Actually talented, and I would even say like going to the South growing up. Like a lot of my people are from Mississippi.
Mhm.
Going there, that's when I realized I was like, oh, Boosie's the guy over here.
He's
Like I
like a
didn't really.
Tupac, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, like, it's crazy because for us in Chicago, the only thing we knew "Wipe Me Down." I mean, we didn't know
Yeah,
none of the other songs. We knew "Wipe Me
yeah.
Down" and "Made Me Set It Off." I feel like those were the only songs that really were popping in Chicago when I was a kid. That were
Mhm.
Boosie songs. You know what I mean?
And
Like
Independent was that? That's
Independent too.
yep.
Yeah. That was even a
Mhm.
little bit later than what the era I'm thinking of. But yeah,
Yeah,
Independent too. I would say Independent and "Wipe Me Down" were
yeah.
really the ones that we knew. But when I went out there and heard all the other Boosie songs, and I see the people just blasting Boosie out all their cars, I was like, oh, old Boosie's the guy here.
He's the guy.
And this is Mississippi, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can imagine Atlanta. I can imagine, you know what I mean, everywhere else.
Louisiana, yeah,
Yeah, he's the guy.
yeah.
Alabama, like people forget about all these other states. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
for real. Especially when it
And
comes to hip hop. Yeah.
that's why people realize quickly, like you can't cancel Boosie because Boosie can go and perform just in the South for the rest of his career.
Literally. He doesn't have to touch any like, you know what I mean? The
No,
Midwest states, West, like, nah.
LA, no,
Mm-mm.
he don't have to perform in those cities if he doesn't want to,
Yeah.
you know. You know, just because of how big his fan base is just in the South alone. So yeah, a lot of those artists in the South have been able to really build huge fan bases off of what they call the chitlin circuit. You know what I mean, quote unquote. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, which is really just the black community. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
literally what it is. Because Ti came up from the chitlin circuit, and look
Correct.
at what he is today. You know what I'm saying? Like
Correct.
so many of our favorite artists. Like yeah,
Yeah, one and hip hop and other genres. You know what I mean?
facts.
Have really made the way. And I even say comedians. Comedians
Comedians too.
are also the ones like who the comedians that can't really be canceled are the ones that we just support so heavily that we don't really care what Hollywood or the media says about them. It just doesn't matter to us.
Right. Right.
Which is
100%.
why certain risky comedians are gonna always be able to tour. Like
Always, man. Some of the riskier ones, or it's like some of the most flagrant ones. Corey Holcomb, like he's just one of those people.
Exhibit A, Chicago. You know what I mean? But people who want to see him are gonna go.
They're
There's
going to
nothing you're
go.
gonna do to stop him. They're not. They don't care if y'all tell us that he's canceled or he's flagrant. Okay, like everybody who watches his stand up already knows this.
They already know that, and they're prepared to hear it. You know
They're
what
going there to hear it. They're telling their
I'm saying?
friends like, "Hey, this dude is wild. We finna go
Wild.
listen to this." And
Hmm.
if I and he's funny, and so as long as you're funny or talented, for us, it's like you're gonna be all right.
You'll be all right, man. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't
Less
gonna be in no
obs
movie. You ain't gonna be in no movies.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Hmm.
But as far as being able to tour, they gonna always be good
You good forever with us.
forever. If we rock with you, we support our own. That's one thing that's for sure.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, that's one of the most flagrant. I like that. That was a good example.
Had to, man. 'Cause, yeah, he's wild. Beyond wild.
I have not seen him live yet, but I'm going to. I just want
Yeah,
to
I
put
have
that.
to. I have to. And he's in
I
Philly
have to.
often, and I have to see him. I have to see D-Ray too.
I've seen D-Ray. I've seen D-Ray twice. D-Ray performed. I saw him once at Bradley University because Bradley was only like an hour and a half from the university I went to. So I saw him once at Bradley,
Okay.
and then I saw him another time. I think I went. Was it Philly? It might have been Philly a few
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah, I've seen him a couple times live. Hilarious.
Man, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, D-Ray is hilarious. I love stand-up shows. I go to that. Me and my girl go to comedy shows probably at least a few times a year. That's like
Yeah.
that's like my ideal date night. Like I enjoy comedy shows.
For sure, man. For sure.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
went to one of on Valentine's Day. There was like this couple who does comedy at Punchline.
At
Yeah,
Punchline, yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
Premier spot too. That's a premier spot for comedy. Yeah.
yeah. Because there's no bad seats. It's so small, so it's like no matter
Yeah.
where you sit, you're good. Like
You
yeah,
good.
it's a
Yeah.
cool venue, but yeah, now comedy's. And I don't expect my comedians to be politically correct either.
No, I prefer them
I don't
not
want
to be.
to. I want to see the ones who are the most out of pocket as possible. Those are the ones I want. I want to go see personally.
Yeah, exactly. The best ones I've seen are the ones that like make it awkwardly funny, where it's like, am I supposed to be laughing at this, bro? I'm gonna just
Yes,
do it anyway. Like, you know what I mean?
we went to see my man's for New Year's Eve in San Diego. Oh, Dion Cole.
Oh my God, he's
We
one of
saw
the best.
We saw Dion Cole live, and this Dion Cole was in a different bag. I could tell people who were there. There was some people who were there from like who were friends like Blackish or some of his more commercial stuff,
Yeah.
and they was expecting to get that. He was on there talking crazy,
Mm,
like
mm, mm.
yeah, it was. He made sure nobody could pull out a phone because he was on there saying crazy. Like this was rated X Dion Cole. This was not Old Spice Dion Cole. Yeah, hilarious though, hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's yeah, comic comedians. To me, they're supposed to get a pass. They're supposed to be able to be reckless. You know?
Yes, bro. I give a lot of our artists a pass, man. They're like our truth tellers, bro. They're our historians. Like those are my preferred historians. Like people that are like
Mm,
turn history or just everything that's happening socially, politically, into art, man. Like that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I'm big on that for sure.
yeah, 100%, 100%, man. So yeah, shout out, I don't know how we got there from Juvenile, but shout out Juvenile. You know what I'm
Shout out
saying?
to him, man.
All
Yeah.
right, man. Cyhi The Prynce. We got to
Let's
talk
talk
about
about it.
this. For
Yes.
those who do not know, Cyhi The Prynce is a very respected lyricist. From what I've heard, ghostwriter for some people.
Oh, for many, some of your favorites.
Some of your favorites, and I don't even think it's a ghostwriter for Ye. I think a lot of people know that he's written for Kanye before.
Yeah.
Um, and he has decided to diss J. Cole.
Yes.
And what's the name of the track? Do you have it?
Bruh lost control. BRA lost control.
BRA Lost Control, Bro Lost Control, is the name of this track. Came out of left field.
Way left. Way low.
Came out of left field. I saw him go online and actually post. And it's funny because I got in the comment section and and my comment ended up rising to the top because I think it was Hip Hop DX posted a tweet he had did where he was talking about, hey, these new rappers, the old lyrical rappers used to actually have to come from the streets. These new rappers were straight A students and college kids who dropped out and ain't got nothing to talk about, basically. So I commented under there like, kids, please do not listen to this message.
Please
you do not have to be in the streets to have something to talk about. I completely disagree with that.
Yes.
But I think that that was like I saw a lot of people speculated that he was talking about J. Cole.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that to this, I think that it was that was the transition. So so let's start off first with the song. What did you think about the song?
First of all, I think this is a solid record, man. I think Cyhi, like as far as when it comes to rappers, bro, I think Cyhi is one of the more underrated rappers of our generation, easily. What he was doing with the Hebrew bar mitzvah, like I'm like, yeah, this dude's pen game is different, bro.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, lyrically, he was like bars
crazy. He was going crazy.
Yeah,
bro. You know what I mean?
Only time these bars was mitzvah, like he was in a battle rap bag.
No,
like,
for
that's
sure.
how he was rapping. He was rapping like one of those.
He was going crazy. And so, yeah, man. And I've been a fan of Cyhi's for a minute, although he doesn't have a lot of solo like projects, obviously, because he's more behind the scenes. So when he does pop out, it's kind of like, oh, okay, like almost like a not on the same level, but almost on like a Jay Electronica type of vibe. Like when he does pop out, he does draw your attention. But he has even less projects. I mean, definitely at this point, when Jay Elect like dropped like 5 albums in a weekend last year. You know what I'm saying? So he got less projects than him now. But nah, this record was solid, man. Overall. So yeah, and Cyhi, for all his rapping, for his lyricism, he can make good records too. And I think people forget about that or get lost in that because he doesn't have that much music out, man. But I liked it as far as a song. How did you think? Or what did you think?
I agree. I think that his rapping was really well on it. I think that Cyhi can rap, you know what I mean? So as far as the bars, all of that was there. I just don't even the disses to J. Cole on there, the few that he sent, they just weren't really they just were random. You know what I mean? Yeah. It didn't seem like I don't know. It seemed like there was no rhyme or reason behind it. So I didn't really that piece I didn't necessarily get. And then he ended it with this is just rap. So I was like, okay, maybe he's just trying to challenge him just to a lyrical bout, if you will.
Right.
These two have been on a song together, though. A lot of people don't know. Looking for Trouble.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know Looking for Trouble, which was a Ye song and kind of like a posse cut. But Cyhi The Prynce and J. Cole are both on that joint.
Yeah.
I don't know if they recorded that joint in person or, they phoned it in. But they've been featured on songs together. So, yeah, I don't know necessarily where it stemmed from. But as far as rapping,
crazy. And to your point though earlier, man, I don't agree with that stand. I actually think that's a horrible message that you have to be in the streets to like be able to have something of substance lyrically or like conceptually. I think that's
it's very stupid. And our book coming out soon, Raps of Resistance. We have to have a chapter about the overlap of education and hip hop. And I think that there are a lot of rappers who went to college or who had parents who were college graduates or who, you know what I mean? So and these are some of the ones who really helped shape hip hop, like Public Enemy, they met in college.
Literally.
So like when we're talking about some of these, acts that have really helped form, and shape what the genre will become, some of them are educated.
Yes, some of the best lyricists.
Even if you're talking about Atlanta, Ludacris went to college.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he just didn't rap about it, for whatever reason. But, I didn't think the idea that you had to be in the streets to partake in hip hop in any way, shape, or form, I think is out of pocket.
Totally out of pocket. And also, what's this idea that you can't transfer from the streets to higher ed. Also, like there's a lot of people that
That's
ask
the,
that.
I know a lot of people who were wilding and went to college. So
Yeah,
that
while in college, I know plenty of people
you
like
not lying. You're not lying. Especially my school. Shout out Western Illinois University. But there was a whole lot of people from Chicago who went up there and was doing the same thing there. But even beyond that,
hmm
to me, the idea of having to be in the streets to have a story to tell that's meaningful to me is yeah, it's just stupid. And look at how many rappers who are in the streets who can't rap, who out.
Exactly, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, let's take account for that. There's a whole bunch of rappers now who, you know, can't rap at all, but they were criminals. So, you know what I mean? Like, what are we what are we trying to tell the youth? You know,
Exactly.
and to hear an older person say that is nasty work. So I'm glad a lot of younger people were like, "What are you talking about, bro?" Like,
Like you sound crazy, bro.
sound crazy being 40 talking about yeah, rappers, lyricists used to be in the streets and now they college grads. Okay, you like trying to say that like it's a negative? Wild.
It's wild to me. Oh, yo, somebody trying to better their life, bro. He is
How
square.
dare?
Like what? Like what?
And my thing is, most of the themes of life, and I like to hear your perspective on it. Most of the things that you go through in life, you know, there's stuff that everybody's gonna go through. You know, that
Yeah.
is universal.
hmm
Death,
Yep.
for family, friends, people around you. Um, you know, financial struggle. You ain't got to be in the
Yes.
streets to struggle financially at
Not at
all.
all.
You know what I mean? There's a whole lot of people out here struggling. Whether you're talking about, you know, family drama, relationships. I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about. Politics, the
Yeah.
world. You know what I mean? I mean, health issues. There's so many things that you can touch
Yes.
on that have nothing to do with you being in the streets. You know what I
Yep.
mean? That, but can still resonate with people and listeners and you know people from all walks of life. So yeah, I think that idea is crazy.
It's
But
crazy.
and I
Yeah.
also think, what do you think about him waiting until the end of the tour to diss J Cole though?
Yeah. I don't.
Waiting until like the fall off. He said this is my last album. Like to me, the timing is weird.
It's weird, bro. And Cyhi has done that in the past. He's actually done that
Really?
with Joe Budden. He's like he had rumblings where he wanted to diss Joe Budden, who has been
Uh,
retired for what the last decade, hasn't even done a guest verse, let alone
mm.
come out with an album. And so yeah, I think that's weird. Why are people taking shots at Cole when they know it's a closing of a chapter, bro? I just think that's kind of like I don't want to call Cyhi a coward, but like that is just the idea that the optics is kind of
Yeah.
cowardly to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why not? Why not? You had all this because this is supposed to be in response to an old J. Cole record, which you didn't mention in my name, but
hmm
there's the old record. What's the name of it? Do you know? I don't have it with
Are
me.
you not talking about false prophets, are you?
Yes, this is. He said this is a
What?
response to false prophets. So in the video that he put out on the social media page, he said basically this is in response to false prophets, which was like a decade ago,
That was literally
and
like 10 years ago, bro. And
and, and he
yeah, I
never
don't
and he never and people thought that it was aimed at Ye, but I guess he pulled the clip from where Kanye's talking about him having a bunch of yes men around him, and I guess
mm,
Saha took that as a diss. But why did it take you 10 years to respond? Then
yeah, and also I still don't think bro was talking about you at all on that
I don't think so. I don't think so either. This is a reach for sure.
for sure. It's a reach for attention. This seems like an attention type of grab moment.
One
You know what I
hundred
mean?
percent. If you're J Cole, do you respond?
I wouldn't personally. Because like what do you gain from that? And it would take away, in my eyes, from the attention of the moment, which is like, yo, it's the fall off. Like this supposed to be people are supposed to be rolling out the red carpet for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like this
yeah,
is your victory lap. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't even engage in this. And like I said, bro, it just seems like an attention grab. You know what I mean? It don't seem
yeah.
genuine, you know?
I agree. On one piece of me thinks you don't respond. The other piece of
hmm
me thinks J. Cole might have a lot of time right now. You know that he's done with the album rollout and this tour. I know he's about to go on a regular tour, but yo, if you got some time to just, you know what I mean, go crazy, I'm not mad at it. You
mm,
know,
yeah.
I
So
think just, you know, I've been saying this for a while. I think J. Cole needs to make an example out of one of y'all, and I
Cyhi
think that
might be that example that he needs to make.
he might be. It
He
might
could be.
be, you know, but now I'm gonna be honest. Lyrically, Saha ain't no easy bout.
No, he is not. No,
So
he is not.
jumping into it, you got to be all in because Saha's gonna rap back.
And I like how I would see Cole do it is he wouldn't. I couldn't imagine him dissing Cyhi singularly. I think he would diss a bunch of people that have said some things about him in the past year. Joey Badass being one of
Mm.
them, and then packaging that
Simba being
Simba
one.
too. I could see him addressing so many people, similarly how he did on False Prophets, where he was addressing Wale, Ye. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I could see him doing that. I
I
could
think
if he
if he
does.
does, he needs to say names though.
You want him to call people out? No, no subliminals.
No. I don't
Okay.
because I think because of the stance that J. Cole has taken of not engaging with some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're gonna do it, I want to hear you go all because if you don't, you're leaving the window open for them to make full diss records to you.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't think we're in subliminal season right now. I think if you're gonna do it,
Mm.
just crash out all the way.
Just go all in.
Now
Okay.
all in.
Ugh.
All in. Hey, I got time now. I'm retired, but I got a little time for this. He probably won't because it doesn't. I don't necessarily know if it benefits him to do
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
where I stand on it.
if you're bored, do it.
Yeah, you got time, bro, in between
But
finalizing the tour plans. You know what I mean?
yeah, before the tour, if you just want to, if it irritated you enough, I feel like go for it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I can
I
see it.
think it'd be I think it'll be a friendly fade.
Friendly, man. Yeah, it's all rap, right? It's all rap.
Yeah, it should be all right.
Until it ain't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Speaking of clout chasing.
This is a great transition, actually.
Yeah. So Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, who is for those who do not know, is a hip hop studies professor, but also a theology professor as well, who is well renowned, who's written I'll probably say over 20 books. I would say at least 20. Honestly, the first hip hop studies professor that I knew about growing up. So so it's me seeing him honestly impacted my career. I didn't really even know that was a thing. You know what I mean? As somebody as a kid who loves hip hop, I didn't even know that was an option of you can be a professor who talks about hip hop. So definitely impacted my journey and have some dope books as well. He made a comment, a post that I think caught a lot of people off guard, where he criticized Kendrick Lamar for his diss records against Drake, but he criticized him on the he took an argument that was more so pertaining not like us and the othering of Drake and his blackness, and he took this argument and blatantly was just referencing Kendrick lines that he felt like were out of touch. Like I know he referenced the line of Kendrick saying, I'm an Israelite, don't call me black no more. And I think he used that out of context too, because
totally out of context.
Because that line is from the perspective of his cousin, who's a black Hebrew Israelite. At least that's how I perceived it when I first heard the song. But he kind of used that to show that like Drake has been more, I don't know if he's trying to say more pro-black than Kendrick, or his argument was all over the place.
All over the place.
But of course he got a lot of backlash for this because he left out a lot of important things. What did you think about when you first saw that video of him, what appeared to be caping for Drake and kind of standing up for Drake and criticizing Kendrick Lamar's critiques of Drake during that rap battle?
Yeah, so first of all, Dr. Reverend Michael Eric Dyson is brilliant. I think like
1,000%.
when he opens when he has something to say, I listen, I'm all ears out of respect, just because of his seniority, his presence within hip hop studies, and just like, just his perspective. I'm always locked in and interested in what he has to say.
Yep.
Except for this. I just think he's out of touch. I think he's out of touch.
This was a terrible take. And to me, I think that's what was disappointing to me, is because I know he's smarter than this argument.
Yes.
So to me, it's either coming out of a place of maybe ignorance to the entire situation, or maybe him and Drake is cool or something. Because to me, it doesn't make sense, because he's completely omitted important factors.
Very important factors.
Like you omitted Drake's lines about, you rapping like you're trying to get the slaves free. You're omitting him talking about Kendrick Lamar's family.
Yep.
You're omitting the fact that Drake has been aligning himself with alt-right media personalities consistently since this point.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're omitting his connection to certain biker groups, Hell's Angels, and
Yep.
different. Like you're omitting a lot of things. So it's
Yeah.
either you don't know or you know, and you're trying to sway people's public opinion. So
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is, but either way, definitely out of touch for sure.
Definitely out of touch. And by him omitting that, but also trying to like string together this argument that, because his initial argument was, I think Drake is a genius as well as Kendrick. Kendrick gets all the praise and all the accolades, but I also think Drake is a genius. I do think that Drake has like a certain genius when it comes to making hits. Like to make hits that he's made throughout like the past 15 years, bro. I think that that does come with a certain level of musicality that very few people have. But also in that regard, bro, I also place Kendrick and Drake in two separate boxes. You know what I'm
As,
saying?
as they should.
Both things can also be true. Kendrick can be, I think, is a more superior lyricist and beacon within hip hop, and I think Drake can make. He has a genius about him when it comes to hit making, but I wouldn't put them in the same category because they're not.
Yeah,
Drake is an artist. Kendrick is a hip hop star, and staple. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Now, in regards to that, bro, there's a lot, like you said, he forgot to mention. One of them being that only one of these two rappers have ever been pictured in blackface. I think we got to acknowledge that as well. Like, because that's weirdo stuff too. And to your point,
Facts.
Drake also said very flagrant stuff during this whole rap beef, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
yeah, and
And,
Kendrick isn't wrong for pointing it out.
and I think that in the way I perceived in any of these diss records, none of Kendrick's diss records actually pointed at the critique being him being biracial. And I think
Right.
that was uh, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson's critique, but I don't think that there were any Kendrick lyrics that really pointed towards that. And I would even say so much like there was no lyrics that pointed to you're biracial, so you're not black.
Exactly. No.
And I think that people keep trying to perceive it as that, but to me, there are no lyrics that point towards that. Even so much so that on this record, where he addresses Drake's son, he refers to Drake's son as a black man.
He does. He does.
So if he's referring to Drake's son as a black man, none of his arguments are you're not black
Because you're biracial. That's not the
because you're
conversation.
biracial. No, this is a cultural conversation. It's
Right.
not about. I don't think it was ever racialized in that way. I think it was you're an outsider from this culture. You have no respect for this culture,
Yep.
and I'm addressing you as such. And I think that's fair.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
very fair because by that virtue, wouldn't he have the same conversations about J. Cole, who's also biracial, who's raised by a white
Correct.
mother, right? But he doesn't because culturally there's a big divide between a Drake, a Cole, who else? Like whatever, right? Like there's
Yeah.
huge difference between the two artists. And him by pointing that out and saying you're a colonizer because you're extracting all of these things from these artists and these regions and these cultures and
Without,
trying to make it your own and
And yeah,
is wrong.
and I think he also left out the fact that Drake has been very intentional with not addressing any social issues within his music.
Correct.
So you're trying to put a pro blackness on Drake that has never existed.
Never.
And I think that's the biggest problem I have with it is you're trying to attribute something that he hasn't attributed to himself.
Right.
Name it. You can't give me a song of Drake's that is talking about the plight of Black Americans.
Not at
Is
all. Or
one that
Black
exists.
Canadians.
Or Black Canadians for that matter. You know what I
Not
mean?
at all.
So and we talk about this in our book that's coming out. Is there is a chapter that touches on these different elements, but I think that I think it's disingenuous to try to even compare the two, but let alone to try to discredit what Kendrick Lamar has done as far as speaking on black progression in his music, as opposed to somebody like a Drake. It's crazy.
It's crazy. So yeah, I think Michael Eric Dyson, as you said, bro, brilliant. Very important to hip hop, especially the academic world at large.
100%.
But like I think he's just off on this. And he did an apology, not an apology, but an explainer after that viral clip
Yep.
came out with possibly the biggest hat I've ever seen worn by an academic in my life. That hat was huge, bro. Like I'm like, you couldn't get the bill of the hat any straighter, bro. Like they're just crazy, dog. Why are you wearing this?
That was a
But
wild fitted. That was a wild fitted.
like that was crazy,
That was
dog.
a wild fitted.
I'm like, did you iron this? Like, why is it so straight? But anyway, he did himself no
Iron in
favor.
the fitted is crazy.
He did himself no favors, bro. I think like he didn't even have to over explain that because he didn't change anybody's perception of what he said. He just doubled down on it, and I still think he was wrong. But I also respect him, bro. You know,
I agree. Yeah, he definitely doubled down on the wrong for sure. Doubled and tripled down. That's why I said, man, if Drake your man's, just say that. You
just
know,
say it.
but let's not try to make it seem like Drake has been on some pro black stuff. Like he's attributed like Drake has earned people to criticize him for being anti-black.
100%.
I mean, he's earned that right. You know what I
In
mean?
many ways.
Through his music, through his decisions with this lawsuit, through his inability to address any black issues in any of his music, any of his 10 albums.
Yes, and I
I
would even
mean,
say his perception of black women in America. I would
yeah,
even say that.
I would even say that, and I would say his allegiance to anti-black media personalities, which are the
Yes,
only ones he's been deciding to partner with since this rap beef has happened.
a hundred
You know what I
percent.
mean? Whether you're talking about Aiden Ross, we can go through the ones specifically. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, yeah, out of touch, out of
Out of
touch,
touch. 100%. Yeah.
out of touch, man. But speaking of that, man, if you want to hear some people who are in touch, I'm joking. A wild segue. Please make sure that you are pre-ordering our book, Raps of Resistance, that
Yes, sir.
is releasing May 14th.
Yes.
Available in bookstores everywhere. Amazon, pre-order on Amazon, Bloomsbury, Barnes and Noble, anywhere the books are sold. We're excited about this, man.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, we're excited about it. You know what I'm saying? This is a legendary book, man. Legendary book. This is gonna be a book that really chronicles not only the contributions of J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, but also chronicles the impact of conscious rap, both in America and globally. So I think that this is a extremely, extremely important text. So make sure that you pre-order that, man. We're gonna be hitting up different places to do book signings.
Hmm.
As this book starts to roll out. So, man, make sure y'all support it. Subscribe to the channel. Also,
Definitely. Subscribe, man.
yeah, subscribe to this channel, man. And if you listen on audio-based platforms, man, make sure that you give us that 5-star rating. And yeah, we'll keep giving you all these episodes, man. Episode 80, man. Oh, we hold on. We didn't do we missing something.
Oh, snap.
Hidden
Hitting
hits.
hits.
I'm about to
Oh my
wrap
God.
this up, man. Hold on. Before we get out of here,
Almost
before we
forgot.
get out of here, man, we got to do hidden hits. For those who do not know, hidden hits is our segment where we shout out to some songs that weren't hits, but we feel like should have been hits.
Yeah.
You got any this week?
Man, let me see. Yeah, I got a
I,
couple. I got a couple.
all right, I'll kick it off, man. I got two. I got two of them for this week. One of them is gonna be a joint by Lupe Fiasco, actually from his Food and Liquor album, his debut album, Just Might Be Okay,
Mm,
featuring Gemini. Dope song that I've always really, really rocked with heavily.
and dope
That's
album.
definitely dope album, classic album. So yeah, Lupe Fiasco Just Might Be Okay is one of them. This other one could toe the line between Nice Nonsense
Hmm.
and Hidden Hits, but it's a joint. Pusha T, Jay Z, Neck and Wrist.
Mm. Oh my God. One of my favorite records, bro,
Oh,
of that album.
record, man. I almost forgot about it, but I ran across it again a couple weeks ago and was like, yo, I forgot how good this song was.
It's so fire.
Yes, sir. Produced by Pharrell. Highly recommend checking that joint out. If you've never heard it, Neck and Wrist, Pusha T, Hove, check it out.
Rapping at they best.
Yeah, rapping.
Mm-mm.
Both going crazy, man. What you got, bro?
Man, Cyhi records, a couple of them. No dope on Sundays, man. Fire record,
Mhm.
bruh. If you ever question Cyhi's pen, I say go to this album, but go to this record, No Dope on Sundays, as well as I'm Fine with Travis Scott. Usually Travis Scott can kind of um drown out a record with all like, you know what I mean? Because he has a big presence on songs, especially with the effects, the vocal things that he does, right? But I would say like this is like a master class in having a Travis Scott on your record, but still holding up your own and making it a record of your own. And just Cyhi, as I said, man, just rapping at his best. I also go back to Wale's last album, man. I feel like this song didn't get enough
Mm.
attention because usually songs like this wouldn't get attention from me. But it's a song called Lonely with Shabuzi, man. I really do not favor the rap country you know, like melding of those two genres that often. I think very few artists, hip hop artists, can do it well. One of them being Nelly, of course, man. Come on, bro, legend when it comes to
Yeah,
that.
that's a fact.
But I
All in
wouldn't.
my head, all in my head went platinum, man.
Come
That was
on, man.
that was a good
That
one.
was beautiful.
As somebody who don't like country music, that was one of the ones.
Oh, fire. So I wouldn't put this in the same category or tier. I'm just saying like Lonely is a dope record
Okay.
that I went back to and is really I was excited to hear it, man. So yeah, those are my hidden hits. Yo.
Okay. Let's get to Nice Nonsense, man. For those who do not know, Nice Nonsense is our category where we highlight some songs that don't necessarily have the same socially redeemable qualities as some of the ones where we feature in hidden hits, but we still love them and we still think they're hard. So we want to highlight some of those songs as well, man. I got one. So there was it was actually maybe Dolph's last project that he put out while he was alive. It was actually a compilation of his old label. It was called Paper Route Illuminati. And the intro to that joint was called Talking to My Scale. Stupid. If you've never heard Young Dolph Talking to My Scale, man, highly recommend checking it out. Beat is crazy. He talking on there. It's one of those ones, man. So R.I.P. Young Dolph. That's definitely one of those ones for me that I want to highlight. I also, you know, we mentioned Boosie earlier. So I feel like it's only right for me to throw in a joint from Boosie as well. And I'm gonna throw in one that I think some people might not know. And that one is going to be I'm gonna go Boosie. I'm gonna go My Struggle. And honestly,
Okay.
this could have been on Hidden Hits. This night isn't necessarily a nice nonsense record. It's a little more introspective, but hard record nonetheless. So I'm also shout out Boosie. My Struggle. I think it's a hard record that a lot of people don't know. It's from one of his earlier albums. It dropped in 2006. So
Yeah.
yep.
20 years plus in the game, man.
That's great. Yeah, Boosie been around for a minute.
For a minute, man. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir, man. But yo, episode 80, man. Until next time, bro. We out.
We out, man.